Hi. Today's a training to be able to help you to elevate your skills when you are face-to-face in appointments. Because there's so much noise about there as how do you get in front of more of the right kind of people, yet rarely are you taught about the skills as to how you can operate in those appointments to be able to garner more of your success. Before we get to later trainings about how you can excel in those environments, I thought I might start with what we're calling 10 of the biggest self-sabotaging mistakes that are standing in your way of being more successful. And I'm running this live from my training room, my virtual studio here in New York, and trying to provide you with some insights that could be valuable to help you be more successful next time you're getting face to face with somebody you're looking to influence, persuade, or see things from a different point of view. That's what we're here for. If you're not familiar with me and my work, my name's Phil M. Jones. I am the author of Exactly What to Say, plus 7 more books, plus a cute little kid's book. And I am obsessed with how language exists as a tool for us to be able to influence and persuade ethically to help you get more of the outcomes that mean that you win and the other people win too. So when we look at the scenarios of self-sabotaging, I'm drawing from a level of experience of working in over 800 different industries, a career that spanned more than 25 years, on 59 different countries. And if there's anything that I've seen when it comes to sabotaging your appointment success that is bigger than anything else, it has nothing to do with what happens in the appointment. The first thing that stands in the way of you sabotaging your own success from an appointment point of view, and I'm going to write some of them out here for you too, is what we call the work before the work. It's the prep. It's what do you do before you even get into a conversation? It's how do you show up properly prepared? How do you get into a situation of knowing who it is that you're looking to be able to meet with? We've all heard Simon Sinek's great body of work about it starts with why, but before all of that, it starts with who. Who are the people that you're looking to be able to influence? And in today's world, our ability to do meaningful research about the person, not just the problem that you're looking to try and help overcome, can give you a fair advantage when it comes to looking at how you win in appointments. Are you understanding hobbies, likes, interests? Are you aware of their worldview? Have you reviewed information they've shared about themselves and their company? This can be a few moments of thoughtful thought, but it puts you into a stronger position of being able to influence and persuade in the moment. If you're doing your work before a work to a high standard, then what else could be standing in your way of success? Well, it probably is your pre-meeting comms. Like, what are you sharing before you even get to finding yourself in a meaningful appointment? Now, if this was an appointment with maybe just somebody you're meeting socially, there's a strong possibility that you might have some text dialogue back and forward, some form of banter on a social platform about what you're hoping to get from the moment. Wouldn't the same be true in a professional environment too? Instead, what most people plug into their pre-meeting comms is they plug in logistical information. Information about, here's the meeting, here's the time, here's the place. And then what we do is we have check-ins to say, are you still coming? Confirming that we're still going to be in the appointment. Now, there's nothing wrong with confirming that somebody should still be in the appointment, but how you go about doing it is a differentiator to the success that you have in the moment. See, if I was looking to confirm an appointment with somebody, I wouldn't be like, here's the meeting, here's the time, etc. What I'd probably do is a couple of things. If it's a little distance out, like it's a day, 2 days, 3 days prior, I would probably, in my pre-meeting comms, share that I'm remarkably looking forward to meeting them on this date, this time, this location in order to be able to discuss blank. What I'd also say is, like, I've prepared an agenda or some talking points. I'd list those talking points, and then I'd ask a simple question. Is there anything you'd like to add? See, if I add is there anything you'd like to add, I'm more likely to get a response. I'm being assumptive towards the fact that this meeting is definitely happening and inviting them to add anything to the agenda before I even get there. Still thinking about pre-event communications or pre-appointment communications. On the day of the appointment, whether virtually, whether in person, chances are I'm going to be communicating with the person ahead of the appointment that we are stepping into. If I'm driving to the appointment, I might outreach and apologize. See, most professionals, when they're reaching out at an appointment and apologizing, what are they apologizing for? Running late. What might I apologize for is I might apologize for running early. By running early, what I can do is stand out and be different to other people. What else I can look to be able to do is to start the meeting before the meeting even starts. If that is a phone call, they might say, no worries, no big deal. Like, you can come up early. And we can start to be able to build rapport in that early part of the conversation. If they still want the meeting to be able to run at the exact same time it was planned, you buy yourself back some time to be productive in prospecting and re-engaging with others. Maybe you can get your head in the right game to be ready for the appointment that you're stepping into. But we live in a world that's so fast-paced, and one of the easiest ways to stand out is to at least be early, knowing that much of your competition is going to be late or on time, and get those pre-meeting event comms working in your favor. What else is a self-sabotaging mistake that is preventing success in the appointments? This one's super simple. It's just choosing the right environment for the meeting that you're looking to have. Give thoughtful thought to the location of the discussion you're trying to have. Could the right environment be a walk in the park? Could the right environment be a Zoom call? Could the right environment be a telephone call? Are you meeting in their office or your office? Are you meeting off location, somewhere that's neutral? Are you meeting them somewhere that is favored as an environment for them? I remember an appointment that I struggled to get with somebody for a long time. I struggled like crazy to get FaceTime with this individual. We had meeting after meeting scheduled that would then get cancelled, or I'd arrive for the meeting and I'm having the meeting with somebody else on the team rather than the key person that I needed to work with in this large financial institution. It wasn't until I invited them to a meeting at a very specific location that I guaranteed a chance of them showing up. See, the individual in question was a fan of fine dining, loved meat eating in Michelin-star restaurants. Not only that, was a big red wine fanatic. So I sent the invitation to the meeting that I wanted to have with this individual on the label of a bottle of Chateauneuf de Pape, plus suggested that the meeting was at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant in London for us to meet over a bite to eat. And guess what happened? The dude showed up. Choose the right environment for the conversation you're looking to have, and watch how much more you're likely to not only have somebody show up, but to have more of the right kind of conversation you're looking to have. Here is a fourth self-sabotaging habit that happens, and this is simple. Like, I find this hard to do in videos like the ones that we're in right now. It's how do you maintain eye contact during face-to-face interactions? If you're in a meeting, and face-to-face can be in a Zoom environment, we must never forget that people listen with their eyes. I heard that loudest and proudest from my dear friend Neen James, and in her book Attention Pays. But if you are looking to be able to drive connection with somebody, you're looking to have them realize that you care for them and you care for supporting them in the moment, how are you showing them that you're listening with these things up here? In our ADD, ADHD society that we're in right now, it's too easy to be having our eyes going everywhere else. But if you're looking to win that moment, be in that moment. And remember, we listen up here with our eyes. So these are 4 of a good number of self-sabotaging mistakes. I said I've got 10 for you. What is 5? Well, 5 is particularly relevant in today's world. It's phones. What do I mean by phones? I mean these little things that show up in your appointments. If this is face down on the table, there's a strong possibility it's going to be a distraction to you and a distraction to them and show the other person you're not present. If it finds its way into your hand at any point during an appointment, what you're saying is there is something happening here that is more important than what is happening right here. And the result of which is it has the other person realizing or feeling that you don't care enough about what they are dealing with at that moment in time. During your meeting, keep this thing out of sight unless it is serving a purpose. And out of sight doesn't mean face down on the table. Out of sight means it's away, it's in your bag, it is nowhere to be seen. What else do we have is, I wrote this one down coming into today. Lazy rapport. Every training course on the planet has said what you need to do is you need to be better at building rapport. You need to be more effective at building rapport. They teach models and frameworks about how you should ask questions that show interest in the other person's interests, etc. And there's nothing wrong with this. But if our goal is to be able to build trust, making small talk about the weather, making small talk about sports teams, making small talk about hobbies, interests, family, etc. is table stakes. If you want to build rapport at a pro level, the safest place to build rapport is in the other person's past. Because people are comfortable talking about what happened in their past. And if you're keen to build rapport with somebody in a meeting in an evening, don't ask them how they're doing. Ask them, how was their day? Ask them what they dealt with today. Have them talk about what happened prior to getting to this point in time today. Have them talk about the journey to get to you today. If you're meeting somebody that you haven't had the chance to be able to connect with for a fair period of time, then go back into their history. How did you find yourself getting involved in an industry like this? How long have you been doing it? What has your career progression been to get you up until this point in time? If you can run a past to present questioning arc when you're meeting somebody for the first time that is relevant and contextualized towards the conversation that you're hoping to have next, what you do is you build gently into a more meaningful conversation. You build a likability, you build a knowledge base. So rapport done well, I view it like a game of tennis that is the game that is played before you start keeping score. See, if anybody's played the game of tennis, before you start keeping score, you have like a knock-up, right? And you're allowing the ball to go backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. Nobody's holding too much of the attention. Nobody's trying to win points. Nobody's looking to put too much pressure on the other person. But what we're doing is we're fielding out the field of play. We're getting awareness to the other person's conversational style. And you're putting yourself into a position where it starts to feel like a safe place to be able to play. And that's going to set you up for success in later parts of the appointment that you're looking to influence. So what have we done? We've done 6 so far. The work before the work in terms of your prep. What do your pre-meeting communications look like? Have you chosen the right environment? Are you making eye contact through the conversation? Where the heck is your phone? Get it out the way. Are you building rapport that doesn't feel lazy and like you're trying to cheat to a point of likability? You're actually growing context into the relationship. Here's the next one. Big self-sabotaging behavior that happens in appointments is the person you're in the appointment with, or you being the person that is in the appointment, is taking no notes. If you don't show up to a meeting with a pen and a notepad or an iPad and the ability to be able to craft notes, you're showing the other person that you don't care enough about the moment that you're in service of, or that you have a perfect memory. You listen better when you're holding one of these. You can make notes around any actions that come as a result of the time that you're spending together when you show up with pen and paper. Even when you're in a Zoom environment, the fact that you're holding a pen is you're showing somebody not only are you taking notice, you're taking notes that go with that notice, that have them realizing that this moment matters, this moment is important. No notepad, no notes, then I don't believe that you care enough to follow through on the promises that you're stepping into. So if you care about the appointment, show the other person you care about what might happen in the appointment, and take notice and take notes, or at least be prepared to be able to do so. So have something that demonstrates you at the right brand level. Choose a pen that talks towards who you are and how you carry yourself. Because if you have a notepad that looks like a dog-eared yellow legal pad and a pen that looks like it has been utilized by 17 other people and somebody liked the taste of it as well as the way it could write, you're going to tell a story about yourself in every one of those appointments that is less than the story you'd like to tell. So grab yourself an elegant journal, a Moleskine, something that says that this moment matters. Also show them that you've been in scenarios like this before, that you take these kind of moments seriously. So what is the stationary joining you in the conversation to show that you're a better listener? Don't be the kind of person that takes no notes. Even if you're meeting somebody in a hotel lobby or in a bar and it feels like a social scenario, have the ability to take notes at hand and try to make it not your phone. So have a small notepad and pad and pen that you can reach for from your bag when something comes up, but have it ready to go so that you're showing them that you're prepared to be able to acknowledge that this is a decision-making appointment. This is a fact-finding appointment. This is an action-taking appointment. What else have we got as things that stand in the way of you being as successful as what you'd like to be in any of these giving appointments? It's overselling. And by overselling, this can be a few things. It can be over-communicating. Too much information creates confusion. It doesn't create clarity. It can also be jumping to conclusions too quickly. So if you fail to understand the problem, then what somebody's going to do is not trust your solution. If you can show somebody you understand the problem, then there's a strong possibility they will trust you with the solution. So get as good as you possibly can at selling things for exactly what they are. And first, that means slowing down to find out if there is a problem inside their world that is worth solving, that is big enough, that is something that you can deliver towards. So be very, very, very clear that you are not overselling. Sometimes that means just slowing things down. Sometimes that means showing people less than what they asked for. Sometimes that's about giving people enough information to make the decision that you're looking for them to be able to make. I got a few more steps that stand in the way that result in you not getting the success that you'd like to have from the appointments. And there's 9 and 10. So what is 9? 9 isn't just overselling, it's oversharing. It's over-communicating. It's making it more about who you are, what you're about, delivering your presentation, delivering all the things that make you so wonderfully you, and perhaps even sharing insights and information about competitors or other people inside your business. It's providing a level of insight and information that potentially is seen as an insecurity. If you overshare past information they needed, if you overshare information about yourself, and particularly if you overshare information about anybody else inside your business or in your competition, this becomes a turn off as opposed to a turn on and is sabotaging your success in the appointments. And finally, one big factor that potentially is sabotaging your success in appointments is having complexity around your next steps. My dear friend Rory Vaden says that clear beats clever. And this is what needs to be true towards the end of any appointment. If you want to gain success and momentum towards those next steps, it needs to be clear and not clever. That might mean developing some very precise, here's what happens next, or the next step is. But it shouldn't be, let me provide you multiple options. It shouldn't be, I'm going to put this into a proposal to send it to you for you to consider on another day. If you want appointments to go well, make the next steps clean, clear, understood by all parties, and right-sized for the size of the decision you're asking somebody to make. And that might mean that sometimes your next step conversations needs to be a smaller ask than what you're currently asking. You might want somebody to make a big decision, but note that big decisions are hard to make, small ones are easier. So do today's work today, add simplicity to the next step that you're asking somebody to make in that appointment, and there's a strong possibility that you will get improved levels of success, heightened levels of conversion, and instead of trying to say that this is a numbers game, this is a quantity of quality game to win in today's market. And my challenge to you is, how do you get more than your fair share? How do you get obnoxious levels of conversion? So if I was wondering, how do you get obnoxious levels of conversions at this point of view, is stop these self-sabotaging habits. Instead of trying to reach the ceiling and look to see what more you can achieve, start by raising the floor and stop doing some of the things that are standing in your way. And in recap, what are those things? Is 1, do the work before the work so you're properly prepared for the conversations you know you're stepping into, so you're not blindsided by information you could have found ahead of time. Make your pre-meeting communications world-class. Help them realize that you're serious, you're not desperate, that they are lucky to spend time with you, not you are there hopeful to get value from them. Choose the right environment for the meeting where the form follows the function of what it is that you're looking to try and achieve. Make solid eye contact with people so they are aware that you're fully present, and amplify that by keeping your phone well out the way. Build rapport in a safe place in the past. No lazy rapport, no self-talk that could make you sound salesy. Show up with a notebook, pen and paper. Be ready to take notes as well as taking notice. Stop overselling. Sell what you're selling for exactly what it is and nothing more than. Stop oversharing. Be present in the conversation that you're looking at and make it crystal clear what your next step is. And every appointment you'll step into next will almost certainly garner improved results. Hey, do me a quick favor. If this video has been useful for you in any way, shape, or form, share something in the comments you're going to do differently, something you're going to act upon. Also, this is a unique style that we are bringing to YouTube of me from my training room with my bad handwriting on my iPad. If you find this format of sharing information valuable, or you think it could be improved in some way, again, hit me up in the comments. I'm making this for you. See you next time.